Are you finding being a gnome to be everything you hoped it would be?
No.
As you turn into this nightmare floating... What is happening?
I have a quest to go to the monk temple.
Oh. They still have class quests?
A few. Where that? Okay, right.
Then remove them all in the cleansing. Did we run out of quests when we left off?
Yeah, we had just depleted a zone.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I don't think I actually want to do this because it grants me the monk enlightenment buff.
What does that do?
Increases experience gain.
Oh yeah, once per day you get to go to the wherever the heck it is.
You have like a daily meditation quest?
Yep.
That's a thing that monks do?
Yep.
Huh. Never know what to expect. So where do you guys want to go? I don't think we planned at all, did we?
No, we were just we were looking for the end of that zone so that we could move on to somewhere else.
We could go to the shitty farmlands where the dead mines are actually located and fight scarecrows that are mechanical monsters, assuming they haven't changed anything, which they probably have.
Oh, we're still in the wetlands.
Yep.
We're in a weird place too.
Yeah, we're kind of in the middle of no. Oh yeah, we're not even at a. There's not even a flight path here, is there?
No, or is there?
We chose a.
There just happened to be an inn.
We chose the weirdest spot to stop last 2 weeks ago. I guess we can run towards Welgar's retreat and then fly somewhere. That's one option. Unless we want to go north to the Arathi Highlands or something.
I didn't go anywhere. I'm right here.
I'm apparently out of phase.
Oh, you got sharded.
Oh no. Defeat.
That's great.
Defeat. It's okay. It's not like we're in a party or anything.
Yeah, it's not like that thing is supposed to prevent this from happening. Let me, I'm going to try going back there and then Hearth here.
Isn't that like the whole point? I mean, if we're going to go somewhere, we might as well go there, right? Since we don't have anything to do here, we might be in the same phase when we get to the new place.
Well, the place that I went is in Panda Zone.
Oh.
Level 80 stuff.
Oh, so you went to Panda, then came back, and then you were sharded?
Yeah.
Oh.
Alright, let's see now. Did I come back to the right shard? No. No, I did not.
I guess
that's a great start.
I guess the question is, do you guys want to go north to Arathi, or go exploring to some other chunk of Alliance?
I guess given the choice, I would go some other Alliance area, because I've done quite a bit of Arathi, though I've never done the story from Alliance perspective.
Because we go to somewhere like Westfall, for example, if we go from to Stormwind, which would give you guys the chance to see the Stormwind Ironforge train.
Sure. Let's head over to the nearest flight path and fly to Ironforge then?
Yeah. Unless you have a secret second flight path. Or a second secret Hearthstone that takes you to Ironforge.
Well, I might. So
I'm
not gonna go look through the toys though to figure it out.
I wasn't gonna tell you, but I have my special designated Ironforge teleporter.
I actually started playing as Alliance back in 2006.
I never stopped. When I first started the game, probably close to like 2008 or something, I was always Alliance, but then I randomly went to a different server after making like probably like 5 different tunes reaching like level 20 to 30. I made one orc warrior that reached like level 50, and then switched back to Alliance permanently. For the longest time, I was like, that was so much work to get him to level 50. I was like, hoping there'd be some kind of like cross-faction, cross-server transfer ability just to retrieve that time spent because it was isolated from all my other characters. Weirdly enough, I think you kind of can do that kind of stuff now.
Mm-hmm.
Just like how I was also like, they should add achievements in Worgen, and then they did after I quit.
Clearly, you just quit too soon.
Obviously. Then I sold my character to somebody else, and I had a sex change, and things were weird.
Things got inexplicably weird.
I sold the character off to somebody else. I was like, yeah, here's my account, whatever. I think I sold my entire account off for only $100 after having put like hundreds of days into it. Because I just was trying to quit the game was really the only goal. Although $100 was not terrible when you're like 17 and haven't worked yet. Like, I can do something with that.
Quick, sell the drugs. Must stop.
There's something funny about selling your World of Warcraft account to your friend's cop dad.
And then the character got a sex change.
Yes.
That's what makes it weirder.
Because he used to look like the guy from the loading screen, although I don't know if they still have the same ones. Oh, you're here already. How'd you get here so fast? Was there a flight path there that I missed?
I still had my hearth set to Loch Modan.
Oh, you did? Well, shit.
Nice.
Well, we'll wait for Marty to land. There he is. What's up, Marty?
What's up? Where's this tram?
Yeah, if you take a look at the map, you might be able to Sherlock it.
You mean the thing labeled the tram?
Yeah.
That's some bullshit.
That's some helpful mapping, isn't it?
I'm going the military ward though.
You
enjoy your Hall of Explorers.
Is something over there? Oh, you just split. Yeah, this is the one tiny designated gnomish chunk of the town back when this used to be technically also part of gnome capital. Like, this is where the gnome leader is. Did they move him, I think? I think this is where the gnome leader actually was. It was like, this is like the throne room or something. But now I guess they're splitting off.
Are we really gonna go look for Blastenheimer?
No.
No.
I was looking at it, but no. So this was our equivalent of the Undercity Orgrimmar Zeppelin, I guess.
Oh, you can't mount here or any. Oh, it's instanced.
It's a separate instance tram, and now it's gone, so we get to wait.
Sweet.
Because they wanted to simulate commuting, I guess. Wow, Jesus. Goodbye. I don't know.
The next one's going to be on the side.
I don't know if that one even comes in or not. I'm actually not sure.
There's 2 trams.
I don't remember. I don't know if I'll make it in time. Oh no. You've doomed me. It's a really excessively spacious tram station, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Look at the tiny chairs.
Like, there's not even NPCs here pretending to use it.
Yeah. It's actually not a short wait either. Just like the Zeppelins, it's like you just kind of sit here for a while. How you doing, everybody? Oh yeah, it's on the side.
Want to know about the tram? Ask a Horde player.
Yep. I have not been here for a long time. I didn't even recognize that it's fucking bizarre looking. I forgot. It doesn't even resemble a train.
No. Like, you'd fall off of this.
Yeah, this is really safe.
So, I have a
the
target.
Zeppelin has guardrails.
I can target the thing in front of us for a heroic leap. Do I do it?
Do it. Do it.
Risky.
Do it.
Out of range? What? It's green.
You could. It's a long run if you fall. I think you just have to run the full length of the tram if you fall off, unless it stops you or something.
You guys
that would be
can
exciting content.
just go to Westfall and summon me over to Dead Mines. You'll probably get there before I'll make it.
Go find like a warlock or something. Oh,
And then
other
we
ways
gotta
the
run
door.
all the way around.
Yep, unless you're him with his bullshit powers. Do you also have bullshit powers?
Well, I've got roll.
Is that gonna suffice?
Sure.
Did you actually clear it with roll?
Maybe.
Son of a bitch.
Were you not watching?
I was running around the outside, so I kind of missed it. Did you clear it, or did you have to run up the ramp?
I went straight for the ramp.
Oh. I knew there had to be a ramp, but I couldn't remember its position until I saw it at the end. Pulse-pounding, exciting, commuting gameplay.
That's what I'm looking for in an MMO.
You can tell how defunct it is by how there's no one there.
We saw a person use it.
Did you see someone in there?
Yeah, there was someone there on that first tram.
Oh shit, I didn't see that. There's so little reason nowadays.
I think the thing that's probably most sad is the tram instance is most definitely sharded. So that was probably high usage. Seeing the one person in there.
That looks safe. I don't think
Wouldn't
OSHA.
expect anything less than.
I don't think OSHA would like this area. We're probably not going to do anything locally.
Yeah, where are we going?
You have to grab flight pass of capitals, I think, right?
Do you?
Probably,
Yeah. So if we head to the front gate, there's a flight path there, and then we can exit out to go past Hoggerland to get to Westfall. Oh. I would spend upwards of an hour sometimes just running in a circle in this area. So I would just be mounted and just running along the canal sides over and over again and jumping on them. Just because, just like waiting for raid prep and crap. So the flight path's up here. Then the front
Hey,
gate goes directly
Quartermaster.
into Elwyn Forest.
Oh yeah, Stormwind Tabard.
Gotta get that human rep.
Hell yeah. Hell no.
So you can achieve the peak of being interesting. Fuck it. I just plunged my molten corgi into its death. Kind of regretting the lack of water strider about now.
Oh yeah.
It's so floppy. There's still such a distinguish. You can still tell the difference between like new animations and old animations in the game.
And this thing is even like middle of the pack, right?
Yeah.
This came out in Pandaria.
Stop reminding me that Cataclysm's now older than pre-Cataclysm was. This timescale fucks with me. This is where all of my characters had to run across 17 times. It used to look more immersive and surprising. Nowadays,
there
there's
used to be weather in WoW.
Yeah. Wait, is the weather gone?
Have you seen
That
weather?
actually- is that actually a thing? Wow. I
There
was
used
just
to be
thinking.
random weather or weather cycles. There also used to be day-night cycle.
Wait.
Yeah, this is night right now.
I did not know things were being removed. That's weird. That's messing with me. All right. No, I was just talking about how how it's aged. Just visually, it didn't used to look to me like it was made by like a terrain generator. But now it totally is like randomized lumps or like the entire landscape. Well, I think the foliage used to be shit or non-existent. I think this whole area was like a flat, green, lumpy land, as opposed to having like foliage that moves when you run through it. So you spend like 10, 12 levels going through this area, running up and down, which you can tell it's like the whole place is a line horizontally across the map. So you're running up and down the same road over and over again for me to each quest hub. But then the final quest is they send you to this outcrop, right? This outpost here, and then that guy tells you to go south and fight Hogger. Although if
we actually just ran past the wanted poster with Hogger on it.
But if I'm to believe you guys, like he's probably not there anymore, right? If he has some other purpose somewhere else now.
Oh, Hogger is totally there.
Is Hogger still in the same spot?
Light be with you.
Really?
Light bless you.
Well, this is Westfall, Farmersville.
Talk to the homeless people.
Yeah.
Okay.
For the Alliance.
We need 4 clues. Ah! I don't think you were told to attack the homeless people. What unforeseen consequences?
Homeless person didn't want to,
Wait, those homeless people are punching each other. Oh, that one's a plains drifter. This is weird. There's just people beating each other up in the plains.
I got the solution.
Are you insulting them one by one?
No, I'm giving them 2 copper.
Oh.
I'd rather just punch them.
You'd rather punch them and give away the most negligible amount of money in the history of WoW.
Need help?
Is there anything in the game that costs less than that? Like, what are they even going to buy with it? Murlocs.
Gnolls and Murlocs.
We've broken new ground, you guys. In the Golden Plains of Westfall. What the fuck is happening to the south?
What do you mean?
The Nether Vortex. That's... Alright. Hello, Cataclysm.
What am I missing? Oh, over there.
West,
Got it.
Yeah.
There's one bit of strangeness that stands out a bit.
Let's go find some Murloc clue.
Do you have a raging clue? Yep. So I'm starting to have really weird echoes where my 2 D&D campaigns are similar to each other. All the way down to now we have potions that are making people increase and decrease in size. Which for those that are listening that watch the D&D series is exactly what's happening in my current playthrough with Marty and Nick. We have these mushrooms that shrink and grow us like Alice in Wonderland. Used a heavy effect.
Find the footlocker. Oh, all the way down the coast.
We just had our D&D session opened with an escape room in Grave of Man.
So, while it seems interesting that such a coincidence would be occurring, I'm sure it's actually probably a pretty common theme. So even though our methods of growing and shrinking are different, they are a storytelling mechanic which is interesting to multiple campaigns.
Yeah.
Right?
We're having a different thing where it's the size that's an obstacle because it came as a surprise, and now we have like somebody who's like blocking entire hallways with their bulk.
Oh dear.
So Snorlax.
Yeah, but it's a bugbear, and he's really stupid until he wasn't. Then he found the headband of enlightenment and became the smartest person in the party, after being the dumbest person for the last 70 episodes. So that'll be interesting. Our Amazon worker friend is going to have to figure out how to play a smart character for the first time in any role-playing scenario. And playing dumb has been so easy.
Maybe he'll lose the headband.
Maybe. Like Fry not wanting to lose the worms.
If he was in our campaign, there would be more than one of us trying to steal it from him.
Yes, there would be. Yeah, we have very different party compositions between the two of us. Not a lot of chaotic evil party members in the Grave of Man playthrough. Not even chaotic anything.
What's
everyone's
general,
like,
what's the general setting of the campaign that you're playing? I haven't watched any of your videos.
It's like we're in some kind of fallen kingdom of mankind, as the title somewhat hints at. Is that we arrive and everyone we're finding is like or either dead or the place is abandoned, or we're fighting like zombie people that don't know they're undead.
Oh,
like that thing where somebody
they think you're some sort of invader.
Like monsters that don't know they're monsters and stuff like that. And the whole place is overrun by some kind of by druids that seem to have decided that since there is the sickness in the first place, the only solution is to just purge the entire place.
That'd be my solution.
And we're trapped in there under like a Simpsons bubble, so we can't leave the kingdom. And the druids are planning on purging everyone.
I totally missed the quest that was in the house to kill.
Oh yeah.
For the tails.
Oops.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Also, every authority figure that we ever talk to is lying to us, and definitely manipulating us for their own ends every single time. So we have one incredibly innocent and naive character that's basically just playing herself. We have Bird playing a massive idiot with a split personality issue, where he has one character that is a paladin and one character that's a fighter, that are both separate entities. Or specifically, he's a bugbear fighter that's possessed by a paladin that was on a revenge mission. As of right now, the paladin is not in the body and is presumed dead, but for the longest time he was switching back and forth between being an idiot and doing a Russian accent for the paladin. And that guy was on this, like, death mission to take revenge against Gorlar, which is a primary antagonist that he was on, like a suicide mission to fight. I believe the first time he encountered Gorlar in person, he, like, started singing a war chant and then got one shot. And so he is relentlessly mocked for sprinting towards the enemy and doing no damage to it, and then being defeated in his amazing revenge mission. And I get to just play a cynical asshole the entire time, because somebody has to foil these idiots.
As a druid in a place where druids are trying to purge everything, how's that going?
It's interesting. I'm not those druids, but it's interesting. I wasn't supposed to be a druid. Wander clearly had plans. Like, did I tell you how the campaign started in the first place?
Didn't you get roped into a campaign under a false pretense?
Yeah. So we would do viewer questions on the podcast, and some of the viewer questions were just really bizarre, like, what would you do in that scenario things, but they're often written by this one guy that wrote these incredibly long, ranty, but also incomprehensible English messages, and then I would just post the question to the other host members at the end, and they couldn't even unpack what the question was or what the setting was or what was happening because they were so just incomprehensible. So Wander was blindsiding me with one of those, seemingly, and then over time it became clear that he was actually talking about a D&D setting, and he was recording it, and we were actually in one of those. And so the podcast just abruptly ends because a viewer question was secretly the prompt to an entire D&D universe. And now we're like 60 episodes in.
We have to get to the end of the Jangalode mine, whatever that means.
Like, it was so pre-prepped that they had already made painted portraits for all the characters.
What?
Yeah.
So when you say you weren't supposed to be a druid, how did you end up as a druid?
I was supposed to be a lizard folk hunter, but when they were when they were prompting this scenario without me even fully understanding what was going on, I asked if I could be a druid.
Got it.
And like he was fine with it, but Shell was like arguing against it because she'd already made like this hunter art, so she had to like replace the bow and arrow with something that made sense. What little Humie want? Why you call Globetalk? What is happening?
I feel like this could really benefit from some voiced dialogue.
Yeah. It's like, at this point, the implementation of voice is super inconsistent. Listen, it's only making them like $1 billion. They can't afford... Activision Blizzard can't afford to add voice to an MMO.
What? So, in the new expansions, they have a ton of voice dialogue.
Exactly.
Which is, I really appreciate that. It's interesting. It actually adds quite a bit to the questing experience. However, I don't want to hear the same voice pop up 1,000,000 times doing the daily quests effectively, because they have voiced daily quests.
Oh. Well, the answer to that problem is to eject yourself from a hobby that involves anything that's called daily quests.
They don't call them daily quests. They call them world quests.
Oh, I'm sure they do.
And they are. No, so it's absolutely more interesting than the previous incarnation of daily quests. Now, quests spawn at past quest hubs, essentially, to ask you to continue helping them with the problems that you've already somewhat helped them with, right?
Do they say that another settlement needs your help?
No.
Is there more or less to them than Radiant quests from Fallout 4?
Did you ever play Diablo?
Yes?
Okay, I think the, I don't know what you would call them, but when you go to the different act locations after your max level or in adventure mode or whatever, it's like, go kill this dude for this bounty and...
Oh, you mean Diablo 3? No, I haven't.
I didn't know if that was a thing for the other ones. I just... D3
no, that
was my first Diablo game.
That wasn't even a thing when I played Diablo 3. It didn't exist.
Yeah, that was an addition.
Well, shows how much I know.
Yeah, for the longest time, Diablo 3 was you basically just ran through the dungeons. For Diablo 1, 2, and 3, you would just run through all the dungeons in order, proceed to the next act, go through those dungeons, and pretty much just do that till the game was over, and that was kind of the whole game.
Oh, we're supposed to eavesdrop on thugs.
I'll find a hiding spot.
Find the thugs back behind the farmhouse. If you get caught or killed, I don't know you. Never seen ya.
We're not gonna get killed. This is modern WoW.
Oh, there they are.
I'll hide right here.
Did you meet her?
Yeah, she's for real. She wanted me to tell you, Lugs, that she appreciates the job that we did for her on the Furlbrows. Give me a pile of gold to split with you all.
To your face. Is it really? Whoa, what do we have here? Looks like we have ourselves an eavesdropper, boys.
No way.
Is he standing in the open with a giant fox?
Only one thing to do with the lousy good-for-nothing eavesdropper. Die. Hey, I'm walking here.
Well, they didn't last. Jesus.
Blame Marty.
That was fair. Hurry back to Furlbro's cottage. Why is it so hype? Have we seen that notification before?
King's honor,
What?
friend.
Oh,
What?
did you guys not get that?
So,
I got it played a horn noise and it said, hurry back to Frobraw's cottage in the middle of the screen.
Did you install another add-on?
Maybe it is some kind of mod.
Sometimes that comes up. I just didn't pay attention to it.
Oh. That was like startling. I'm like, this is the most emergency the game's ever had.
To the middle of the zone.
And I've raided.
Anyway, so the world quests, they do add something. They're a lot more interesting than daily quests. There's always variety because there's a lot more different quest hubs than just the static view. And they grant scaling rewards. So as your character becomes more and more powerful with better gear, they offer actual somewhat relevant rewards. Not always relevant. And the stuff that you get has a chance to like Warforge and everything. So it's worth doing them. And they grant rep.
Go with honor.
Here it is, the Watchers.
There's another quest inside. Quest inside.
Shit.
Don't make my mistake.
Don't make my mistake. Talk to Sal Masaldine.
Oh god.
Oh no, Okra. Now I remember.
Oh god, it's one each. I'll head this way.
Every man for himself. We had an issue where Wander and I each came up with parts of my character separately, and when we put them together, I was just Naruto. And that is our great shame.
How does that even happen?
Mike, oh, hey, turn it in while we're going. It became, oh, it's an accept quest. Did you share something?
No.
No, it's a drop.
Oh. Well, we made a character who is from a distant village that's in the wilderness that is not liked by everyone else in the village, but is recognized by the leadership and also secretly has a monster sealed inside of them that comes out in emotional moments and stuff like that.
You seriously made like a carbon copy of Naruto. Holy
Yeah,
shit.
except I'm a dragon.
Why you do this?
Well, I didn't know I was a dragon. That was a secret he had about my character. That was a reveal that just happened one day. So I broke his campaign, like Hendersoned it hard, and he had to do a season finale where we all kind of die so that he can then come up with what happens next. Which involved me getting shot in the heart and falling hundreds of feet, and then like cut to black, like the scene ends. But then during the fall, when we come back for the next season, I during my fall transform into a dragon to fight a lich at the top of a tower and destroy a crystal that ends up obliterating the entire kingdom. So
I've had a Gandalf moment.
I've accomplished a lot as a result. I've had huge impacts on the scale of the entire kingdom, which has been fun. I kind of destroyed it. But that took all the variables that I'd already come up with for the character and combined them into a way where it was just Naruto. I'm like, oh god damn it. I didn't know I was secretly the nine-tailed fox. This isn't fair. It is interesting to play roleplay scenario where you find out stuff about your character that you didn't write.
Yeah, that I could see that actually being pretty compelling. Though
Yeah, because
none of that exists in this other campaign.
No, because it gives you the ability to have the types of revelations that people actually have in like RPG video games, where you learn something surprising, like say the Knights of the Old Republic and stuff like that.
Gotta find more of these birds and boars. Hey, look, some
Yeah.
boar.
They're apparently hard to find. Yeah, usually your character's super set in stone and static, and you make your own decisions about how to change them over time. In in a lot of D&D campaigns I've played, at least. Although most campaigns I've played are honestly just kind of really light on roleplay to begin with.
Yeah,
a lot of people
play the engine and you hope that something.
That what?
Usually in a typical role-playing campaign, it seems like you just play the engine a bit. You do some combats. You hope that some sort of storytelling is organic, and you have a fixed campaign.
I think it's like Twilight Imperium, where it's really hard to get groups together consistently for it, that then would like iterate and progress at learning how to do it and stuff like that until you're comfortable with it and having fun with it the way that Arif seems to be. Because Arif's like the one person that's taken to it the most in our campaign, where he's like doing everything in character of being just this utter idiot.
It's pretty compelling. It makes it really easy to play the person who's more withdrawn and everything when there is someone who's
Loud.
like a larger than life personality.
Yeah.
Hey, I found a rare.
Where at?
Come hither.
Oh yeah, Voltros.
Oh, that's all the way over there.
Yeah, we have one character that's like the lore nerd, and one character that's the louder than life mess that's making a mess everywhere, like Varif. And so I get to just kind of problem solve a lot, which I have to keep us alive sometimes. But it usually culminates in me immediately getting hit in some way. My experience so far with the campaign is that everything I do fits the saying, like, no good deed goes unpunished. Every time I make some kind of progress or help the party, like, I immediately get like impaled or something. Sometimes.
Do you not have enough bird meat yet?
Yeah, I'm missing one. And now I'm not. Recently, Bird discovered that a spear was a javelin that creates entangling roots by throwing it at me and impaling me to the ground, and then the roots grew to fasten me to the ground while I was impaled. I'm like, can I catch a break for 5 minutes in this campaign?
Boiled boots.
Can I help you?
Boiled chain footpads.
See you around.
It's okay. The orphans can eat shoes now. They'll be okay.
I guess that's what the flank in the ochre was for.
Okay.
We fed 3 orphans. Congrats.
You have our thanks.
Those orphans are pigs.
And then go back inside and talk to her.
Be careful.
Immediately. It's like, go right back where you just were and talk to them again. Wow.
Inventory is full.
Careful.
Just dump it all on that fire over there.
That's my plan. I just dump some oil in there.
Yep. What'd you just do?
I learned one of the level 10 cooking recipes that I have.
Oh. I have not
Seems
been...
like as good a time as any to cook.
Yeah, during the cooking quest. I have not been dealing with professions.
Oh, I have not picked up any profession other than cooking.
Yeah, I don't think I didn't do enough cooking to actually have access to the recipes as we get them. Should have been, but instead I did nothing. As I do.
Like you do. Alright, we got, what? Overload a harvest golem and then go deliver things?
Yep. Somebody's gonna have to fix that windmill. After they deal with the plague of attack golems.
When we're done overloading a harvest golem, I can make a vendor for us.
Ooh, a vendor would be nice.
Or we could just do it now.
Yeah, let's do that. Bring out your cheaty vendor.
I feel like living in a world like this would start out as being exhausting. I started as being terrifying, and then transitioned into being exhausting. As you just deal with like the endless, like every 5 feet is another enemy, and another thing that wants to attack you. And at first it'd be horrible, but eventually it'd just be like, God damn it, world. Leave me alone for 5 minutes. Like, there's no stretch of nature that's not, like, full of horrible monsters that want to attack you at all times. Can make your stomach rumble?
Lessons of the past.
Yeah, I ate it. I don't know what it's doing.
Yeah, I don't know.
It just says your stomach is rumbling. Okay.
Huh.
2-hour buff.
Alright. Why not? We're here to overload Harvest Golem.
Yeah, let's do that.
They seem overloaded already. They're all zapping each other.
Oh, we're waking up and overloaded.
Oh, I'm playing as it.
And then we're coming over here to slay some energized Harvest Reapers.
Yeah, that's a thing you do. Oh yeah, there he is. Gonna go beat him up. It to be 25. Whoa. God damn. You press that that rogue sprint button and you just go for it. This is bizarre. What have we become? Despite the apparent stature, we seem to be shockingly more powerful than they are.
Boo.
Pun not intended, actually.
That's impressive, really.
Alright, well, we got him, I guess. Time to abandon this place that's still clearly full of enemies because we've reached our quota.
I'm just gonna go ahead and keep using this golem to get back to the place quickly.
Having a sprint doesn't hurt. Somebody else has the same idea. One of the people in this group is not one of us. Oh, I got kicked out.
Yeah.
I got kicked out like way sooner back than you guys did. Weird. Interesting that the harvest golem you leave behind actually is deposited as a corpse. Like it's lootable.
So now, hope for the people? Ignoring the road and going to wherever this is.
Yeah. Unbound Cyclone. I gotta give them credit for Cataclysm. They did actually change a ton of stuff. Like, a lot of this place is just unrecognizable to me.
Hey, I've been to this place.
Definitely don't remember weird tornadoes being around.
I was at this place during the pre-Legion invasion.
The pre-Legion invasion?
Yeah, there was a lead-up event to the launch of Legion, and this is one of the places where the Legion ships would show up and start invading.
Mistakes were made.
Donald J. Pone. Nick, you found your buddy here.
I made the mistake of using AoE attacks.
Did you hit the high-level Horde
No,
player?
I was just fighting and continually aggroed another enemy. And the chain just kept going, and I'm like, oh no. One of those fights where the fight just kept growing before you could escape it.
Anyway, one of these people he keeps killing has quests.
Oh, there's a horde player just wiping out the NPCs.
Yeah.
Whoa. Ow. Don't walk into the tornado, it hurts you. May come as a surprise.
I was gonna say I could go get on my DK and solve this problem.
Nope.
Oh wait, that's
What a-
Wrong
There's
faction.
Horde.
What a confusing and unconvincing fight happening over here. Have you seen the gnolls fighting the Stormwind bandits?
No.
I mean the Stormwind guards down here fighting gnolls, but only one of the gnolls is fighting 4 of the guards, and there's 4 other gnolls just standing in a line, not taking part in the fight. And then right next to them, there's like 3 homeless Stormwind people just sitting around like nothing's happening.
Hey, I got all the quests before
The
the dude
next
came back.
level simulation. Oh yeah, you can share.
Quests.
That guy's just riding a troll. Or an ogre.
It's pronounced Gron. Gronling, excuse me. I still didn't get that mount.
Mr. Grunley.
All right, read back what quest you have. Or better yet, come over here while the NPCs are still alive and try to pick up quests.
I've got Heroes Call, Westfall Bridge, Defense of Westfall, Feeding the Hungry and Hopeless, and Legend of Captain Grayson.
Okay.
Greens are dailies, right? Or other thing?
Please.
What's a green exclamation point mean?
Flight path.
Oh, that's a flight path. I grabbed that. Right, it's Flight Path Tutorial Man. He's the one that would teach you how to use flight paths. This would be my first zone, like a chump. Let's go help them against that horde of gnolls that are... Oh, they're gone. Oh,
I mean, there's gnolls inside the wall already.
these guards are not good at this. Like 4 of them wailing on one dude. There they are. That's probably what this fight's supposed to look like. Right, I'm supposed to have a pet.
You're bad at this hunter thing, aren't you?
I really am.
Is this another case of you were supposed to play a druid?
Why can't I revive my pet? Is it because I'm in combat or something?
Because
No,
it's
you-
not
you
dead.
can't.
Oh, I just had to call him. Only I was the dead.
Yeah, if you check the message on the revive pet thing, it probably says your pet is not dead.
Right, we did that.
As you
over
can see,
here.
this fight is over now, and we have won.
Go feed the hungry and helpless, I guess.
Oh, there were some at the front gate.
They were told to sack this. They were told to sack this place, and they could keep anything that they get. Guy might kill me.
Don't die.
Yep.
Why are you dead?
I was getting hit a lot.
Your pet should be tanking for you.
Listen, he only is sometimes around. Oh, he was dead. Revive worked. He was actually dead that time.
Ah,
It all makes sense now.
gotta find people to feed.
Well met.
Not. Oh,
For
there's
the Alliance.
hustlers,
For the Alliance.
homeless. Feed.
I swear, I saw a bunch of people here.
Found people.
Now we run a soup kitchen. Whoa, that number's going up fast.
I'm actually feeding all these people to Mercadin.
Oh, there we go. I put down 1 bowl.
Absolutely no transients, no exceptions. That's a great sign.
Somehow I don't think that that's working.
Well, all the transients were on the outside of the guards, so in that spot it was working.
That's pretty horrible. They keep all the transients outside with where the null attacks happen.
Well,
Clearly hoping for them to get eliminated one by one.
Things on our friend.
But yeah, sure, the orcs are the bad guys.
Light bless you.
There's not a lot of multi-race fantasy universes where the humans are sympathetic, are there?
see, the orcs are the bad guys because they are taking human lands that belong to wealthy landowners. And thus, all of the armed guards and knights are very angry at the orcs. Right? That's how it works.
On this at this gate, you can see there's like 20 drifters that are all being kept out by the guards.
Yeah.
Yeah. Meanwhile, the people that are actually mad at the orcs are like a super minority because the average person doesn't experience any of the stuff that's actually happening because they're already in this shit.
What is this? Django Spot Hide. What?
I mean, everything about those names. I mean, it has to be Knowles again. There's there's no escape from the Knowles quests.
I don't know what these gnolls have done. They seem to be minding their own business.
Well, now they're going to die. We could have gone to the place on the other side of Elwyn Forest where you fight some more gnolls, or Elwyn Forest where the boss is a gnoll. Where you fight Hawker. See, and or we can go to the Horde area where the Barons have all those gnoll quests. Gnolls are really like a major antagonist to all of the world of Azeroth for some brief era at the beginning of the storyline, apparently. Oh, the bandits aren't actually in the quest.
Nope.
Welp.
It's alright, I got you guys.
Oh, and the bandits, like, actually ambush you from stealth. Take that, big bad boss man. Did you guys get credit for that?
Yeah.
Yep.
Need 2 mystics still, though.
I thought I was getting a final hit in before you guys killed him, then I realized the person taking down Django was actually a random human. There was a risk of failure.
Do I have an interrupt yet?
I have my interrupt.
Oh, Django's back. Oh, there's a mystic.
I, in fact, do not have my my interrupt yet.
When do you get it?
I don't know.
I should probably double check whether or
35.
not. Oh, wow. A while? I should probably
Well.
double check to see if I have new skills yet.
I get
You're playing
touch
a
of
big-
death before I get my interrupt.
You're playing Beastmaster Hunter.
Oh, let's go find Agent Kiernan before we run all the way back to town.
You already have all your buttons, basically.
Yeah, but I don't check very often. I don't know if I checked a single time the entire last session. Ooh, exhilaration. I have a heal. That would have come in handy earlier when I died twice.
Would it though?
Yeah.
Would you have remembered it?
Aspect of the cheetah? That would have helped me run away. Apparently I have aspects for the first time.
What can I do for you?
Into the tower. Into the tower? I expected those to be harder.
Joke's on you.
Ah, yes, dark in here. It's what WoW would be like with atmosphere.
Look at this lighting. There's lighting in here.
Yeah, it's like
Where
the
different
engine
parts of the
was
room are
built for
different
it,
colors.
and then they took it out.
It is weird how they just retracted from that. Oh, I got wild call.
Where is he?
Oh, my auto shots have a chance of resetting my dire
Oh,
beast.
there we go. Go invisible.
There's a lot of like watching evil people plot in this game. Are we viewing the past?
No, we're just invisible.
You're just not allowed to fail at being invisible and exposing yourself.
Yeah. Call for the people.
That is a very vacant ogre man. I don't think he thinks much.
Well,
Falling
he is
time.
being used as a mount.
Ah. Oh, very abruptly it wears off. Whoa! There's a cyclone, by the way. And it hurts.
I think it's more the hitting the floor again hurts.
Not the jump that kills you.
Hello. Farewell.
Might blow your minds, guys, but we have a quest to report our findings.
We can do it. This is within our power.
Stay away.
So, about that running across the zone.
Seen any movies lately?
Well, have you?
I asked.
Well, I have not. Though I recall you being away from the house for a couple of hours, so maybe you did.
I had a whole day of adulting and got so much done, except for my job, which when I was behind on my job, which is, I guess, what adulting really is how everything fucks everything else.
Everything fucks everything else. But in the case of you, adulting and your job are playing video games.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm very behind on the playing video games part.
Oh, hey, Organ.
not-
That one's the bad one.
It's the worst.
Oh, it's Rip Snarl. Isn't he important or something? I've seen him before.
He's in the dungeon.
Oh, he's in. Yeah, he's in Dead Mines. Is this
Yep.
before or after Dead Mines that he's imprisoned here?
Before.
Does he get freed and then become the boss? Or does he show up here like Anixia's head after you beat the dungeon?
I think he probably gets freed.
You can't talk to him.
No, he's angry.
You can't talk to him and have him be like, I'll get you next time.
So I guess now we go to across the map.
Ooh, I learned Feign Death.
All right, so this giant opening in the wall where there's clearly no road. Isn't that where the transient should try to enter?
You can tell it was on their to-do list because there's like 5 bricks.
I don't think 5 bricks is enough.
It's like, we'll make a wall one of these days. Any year now. I'm the only one that got demounted. Son of a bitch.
How you doing back there?
Ah.
Don't forget you have cheetah and exhilaration.
Yeah, while I was out, I saw Annihilation, which had a scene that was so uncomfortable that people left the theater, which is exactly what I was hoping for.
Light be with you.
You were hoping for people to leave, or
Yeah.
you were hoping for it to be uncomfortable?
Yeah, both.
Okay.
Fewer people in the theater is good, and also, whenever a movie comes out that makes people want to leave the theater for reasons other than boredom, that usually means that something interesting happened for once. A similar thing happened
Alright.
when I was watching Drive, and they got to the really brutal elevator scene, and like a married couple that looked like they were 70 left the room and never came back at like the climax of the movie.
Informational pamphlet. How exciting.
There's no loot.
Ah, but there's propaganda. I got 2 of them.
Yeah.
Oh, they're
then
the ones
there's
across the
2 other-
street.
This place looks like it has been decimated.
There was like a genuinely uncomfortable scene that like 3 people left the theater during, and I don't think I saw them come back. I'm like, yeah, they did it good.
What was the film called? Annihilation?
Annihilation. It's from the guy who made Ex Machina. Same director and writer.
I don't think.
Starring Natalie Portman.
Really?
You saw Ex Machina. That was the
Yeah,
one
yeah,
time
yeah.
you, me, and Syph tried to go to a theater once, and the movie was canceled, which I've never seen before. And then we never tried to do things together ever again.
Well,
At least with Syph.
yeah.
That was weird. Being told that the showing you're going to is canceled is never happened to me before or since at a theater.
I have definitely seen shows be canceled because I've been the one canceling them.
Oh yeah, you would have unusual exposure at that point.
Yeah.
What was the reason for cancellation when you did it?
So basically, my requirement was that a showing had at least 4 people within 10 minutes of the start time. Otherwise, the cost of running the movie was much higher than the.
Wait, so they would literally cancel when it was already happening?
Well, so like if the no if the movie had started, if it
10 minutes
actually
before.
started, yeah. So like if I'm 10 minutes past the intended showtime and there's not 4 tickets sold, like there's not even people in the theater, it's not gonna start.
Huh. Well, if that was the reason, they definitely changed their policy, because when I bought my ticket, like minutes before the movie started, there was 1 seat used taken so far.
Yeah, well,
There's
different
like
theaters
a
operate
handful of
different
people
ways,
kind of flooded
right?
in at the last second. Yeah,
So,
but it's a point of curiosity because they are the people that canceled on us, though.
So when I canceled shows, it was at a very small local theater with 4 screens, right?
Yeah. Did you guys find the Moonbrook Times? Because I never did.
Yeah, it was in the middle. There was one upstairs in that building, and there was one thing in the middle of town.
I think I missed the one that's out in the open, I guess.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, it's right in the middle of. It's right next to the fountain.
And you collected all your
we where-
bandanas.
Oh, we're at the Dead Mines. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, weird. They're all neutral and stuff around here. This was a whole area you had to fight your way through all the time. I think that the Defias were here. I guess the Defias are gone. I don't think I've heard mention of them.
Did you collect your 6 bandanas keys?
Oh shit, I did not. What was causing them to aggro? Were they just aggroing when you walked in the area?
There's actually aggro mob. Yeah.
I just picked up a pile of them. I'm good.
Good?
Yeah, there was at least an AoE loot worth of 3 bandanas.
Excellent.
Just on one pickup.
Sounds like you found the corpse pile.
Yep.
Well met.
Now come on, we got to get to the rally.
For the Alliance.
Go, go, go.
We're gonna go join the thug people, or probably.
Oh,
Gather, brothers
Jesus.
and sisters. We are abandoned. The orphan children of Stormwind. Our king sits upon his throne made of gold and shrugs at our plight. Meanwhile, our children die of starvation on these very streets. His war, not ours, cost our livelihood. We paid for the Alliance's victories with our blood and the blood of our loved ones.
I've got my
Why is
pitchfork.
Why is she completely black? The time has come, brothers and sisters, to stop this injustice. The government of Stormwind, of the Alliance, must be made accountable for what it has done to us.
Is she the same woman silhouette that was in the
Yes.
tower?
Yeah.
Was she
Today
also
we are
black then?
reborn. Yes. Today we take a stand as men and women, not nameless, faceless numbers. And she's got a completely black stick and pennant.
The game really doesn't want to reveal her secret identity.
Turns out it's Jaina.
It's using magical animation shadows. Oh, she's gone. I guess we'll never know.
I guess we find out before the zone ends.
Probably. Is that ever used anywhere else in the game?
Not that I recall.
That is not a familiar trick of just literally shouting someone in shadow, even though they're standing in the open.
quest text even said we must discover the identity of this leader.
Of this shadowy menace. This menace of phantom.
Light bless you.
When I was in Northrend, I helped the people of Valgard uncover some of the mysteries of the Vrykul by delving into the spirit world.
Oh.
Oh, we're gonna meditate.
The Defias exist.
May your days be long.
It's time for some out-of-body experience.
Oh, yeah.
And we're going into the Dead Mines.
Being in the theater, I've found that other audiences' reactions to horror movies can either be very satisfying or very frustrating. It's almost never a good thing to even see them with an audience, unless it's the shitty type of horror movie that's just like, oh, scary, oh no, that startled me, like 5 times in the movie.
Hooray, a jump scare.
When a movie is doing something weird, usually the audience ruins it. Then the best thing they can do, is leave. I don't know. We might have made a mistake. I don't know.
No. We go further down.
It's the non-instanced dead mines.
Oh no, it has to actually be near the entrance.
Oh. Oh yeah, it says inside the dead mines near the entrance. Whoops. Have you ever heard of the movie Splice?
Yeah.
With Adrian Brody and the weird alien monster? That movie's ruined a bit by having like 10 teenagers laughing in every scene.
Sorry.
It kind of fucks up the atmosphere a bit when they find every scene funny.
We went back down again, Keith.
Did you guys find the place to
Nope.
do the thing?
Nope. It just, yeah, I don't know. This is a well-designed quest.
You have a lot of open space to deal with, yeah, of where it could be.
Like, I think we're in the mines at this point, so
I actually ran up to the instance portal, and it's not working.
I know, we'll use the gathering stone. They're still here.
Yeah, my map says we're in the dead mines.
Ah. Randomly, I'm under attack. The thugs are respawning.
did you go outside?
Yeah, I went all the way to the entrance to see if I can find the prompt anywhere. This is weird. I'm just being attacked by respawning thugs.
Oh, enter the Defias hideout and follow the trail of homeless to the Dead Mines dungeon. Enter the dungeon and use the instance burner. So you have to go inside the instance portal.
The portal itself.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Alright.
Good old reading the quest text.
Who does that?
It's really, really strange for things to be so quiet right now that I can hear Mercadin's floppy footfalls.
Because you don't have a constant, unceasing violence sounds at all times as the enemies
Yeah.
get grinded into mush forever.
Yeah. I don't know where the entrance is, Nick. So I guess I'll just follow this trail of homeless.
I mean, you can press your map key.
Follow them vagrants.
Found it.
The map seems unreliable.
What?
Oh no, it's the zone map. Oh, weird.
The
I
actual map.
have the zone map open and it's lying to me. It's straight up wrong. Oh shit, this was a mistake.
What did you just do?
I melted. I got caught off guard a bit by just how quickly I'll melt if I aggro a few things. And there's a horde of zombies. I'm used to kind of being able to just run wherever I want to go. Admittedly, I'm also used to playing a rogue, where even where it's high level areas, I can just vanish the moment a few things aggro. So I've been conditioned to do some dumb things.
Meanwhile, Nick and I are watching some visions of the past.
Great. Tell me how they were.
Edwin thinks that his cause is righteous, just so you know.
I'm shocked.
He also said that the Brotherhood shall prevail while he was dying.
I can't even imagine how they'd make a character in Warcraft that might think that they're right about something.
Let's return to Sentinel Hill and inform them of his demise. What, does he just like stand back up now?
Did you just like watch the death of Van Cleef?
Yeah. Oh, we're seeing Vanessa Van Cleef now.
Oh shit.
The dead Edwin.
Deadwin?
Deadwind mines? No. It just spawned us. We're still in the instance. Got it.
Yep.
Well, that was weird.
Yep.
Nice of all
Yeah.
these weird crouching homeless people to like paint the line to where they are.
That's what they're there for.
Just to show us how to get around. They're human, like, traffic markers. Anyway, I'll go start that cutscene now.
Yeah, enjoy it. Gonna run all the way back to Moonbrook while you do that. If I can figure out how to get back out of this hellhole.
Well, you got your wish, Marty. It's a different cave.
It's just a combination of a couple of others.
5
Right.
years ago in the heart of Dead Mines. This is like a cutscene.
Yeah,
This like never happens.
it's a cutscene without the vocals.
Oh, right. So it's just people subtitling each other. Weird how it shows. I guess since I'm in the Dead Mines, it's showing me the kill all these enemies objectives. I guess you could. This could be the beginning of your dungeon run. Warriors, come out and play.
Is the summoning stone all the way outside, Nick?
I believe so.
The meeting stone is outside the barn, yeah.
Perfect. I think that we should summon Keith out of there.
How many people do you need to use the meeting stone?
2?
2? It's interesting
well,
that
I-
mechanics like that still inhabit the world after all this time.
Yeah, let us know when you're done with the cutscene.
Lapdogs, all of you.
Fools! Our cause is righteous.
It actually does have voice acting.
The Brotherhood shall prevail.
Did you say it didn't have voice acting?
Mine didn't.
Oh. Oh, weird. Only Van Cleef has voice acting. That's weird. I think it's because it's his voice acting from when you would fight him in the original boss fight. Because he just says vague things like none may challenge the Brotherhood and the Brotherhood shall prevail and stuff. Wait, so did we basically just watch an instance party come in and kill Van Cleef?
Something like
In the
that.
canonical, like, what happens after the defeat of the Dead Mines instance? Weird. Alright, well, I'm done.
Let's get you out of there.
Crime Scene Alarmobot.
What can I do for you?
But yeah, the Annihilation has a horror scene that is just genuinely inventive and uncomfortable and
Does it evoke the memory of watching like the first Saw? Should we go down to that coastal thing before we go back to Sentinel Hill?
might as well. I'd say the movie isn't Saw-like, but it does kind of, yeah, evoke like that moment of like, because Saw was like a new thing at the time. Like kind of a different form of uncomfortable. A lot of people don't go to horror movies to actually be uncomfortable or not like something though. So they're just there to jump a few times as like a pretty girl gets startled a few times and nothing happens to her. And then
That beam effect is actually really cool.
yeah. Jadoo. As we're talking about Annihilation, we go to a freaking lighthouse, which is what the entire movie focuses around. All right, well, there's timing. There's also The Ritual on Netflix that has just some fantastic design going on, where they took this one person that I keep seeing all the time go like viral on Reddit, and they used them for the creature designs. So art that I kept seeing everywhere actually ended up in a movie.
Interesting.
And it's just a really cool movie. And it's on Netflix. And it's only like 90
What'd you
minutes.
say it was called?
The Ritual.
If you're tuning in, make sure to check out The Ritual on Netflix.
By that's not the right thing. Nutella. I almost said nutmeg. I'm like, what? This is
And
not a good
now
brand.
a word from
This
our
is-
sponsors.
I'm bad at brands.
Hey, look, old Merc guy.
Oh, right. I don't have a pet. There we go. I died again that time. I need to get on top of things.
Bangumi wa Grano sponsor no tekyo O Christmas.
I've only done one semi-sponsored video so far, and that company went out of business like a week later.
What?
The loot box thing for the indie games.
Oh.
That company's out of business.
Yeah, you say sponsored in that they sent you one.
Yeah, that's the closest. It's the only time I've been sent a physical product to make a video about, but it wasn't sponsored in that I didn't have like anything I was supposed to say, and they didn't pay me, and I did not endorse them. And I guess I was right because the company went under.
What I'm hearing, Keith, is that your failure to endorse them is the reason why they went under.
But I'm
Pete,
here.
how could you?
What we're learning is that video should be removed before somebody notices that I'm really bad for brands, and that my future sponsorship deals dry up. Their company was.
Where's his other
Their
quest?
company
Oh,
had a bad idea, though.
I don't know that I'm ever gonna want to return this quest if I have to go all the way up to the Raging Chasm.
I mean, the Raging Chasm probably has a bunch of quests going on in it, right?
Maybe.
I mean, it's where the weird death vortex is happening. Seems
I
important.
assume now we're gonna go find that hidden treasure.
It is excessively nostalgic to be here. Oh wow, the map tells us that there's a quest available all the way in Duskwood.
It knows.
It knows.
It's alright, Keith, we aggroed everything for you.
Now I'm safe. They're gonna evade
I'm not
leash
sure I've ever
past
been
me.
on this coast before, and I've explicitly gone to all sorts of places in Azeroth for no reason.
For no reason, or to unlock that achievement for the map?
Actually, no reason.
Oh.
Back in vanilla, I did plenty of exploring because that was one of the things you could do.
Yep. That was looking at my own past, like that's an interesting part about just thinking about being an MMO player is like you just take it as a fact that you'll be in the MMO, so then that means you don't like think about what you're going to do in the MMO then start playing like, oh, I'm playing the game today because this is what I want to do. You log in just because it's a de facto thing that you do every day, and then after you're in the game you try to come up with things to do because of course you're going to play.
Because you've got time invested in this character.
Yeah.
But now I'm going to run over here because map exploration.
I remember we had this summer where we were all playing these Horde characters together, and we were kind of leveling, but not really. Like every day we would explicitly just fuck off all day and like just do random stuff that wasn't at all conducive to actually getting experience. And we'd actually end up like everyone at some point during the day or in the late evening or early morning, we would just grind out a level or something in order to actually make forward progress, because none of the stuff we were doing all day was leveling. It was just nonsense that we were doing inside of WoW.
Well, yeah.
Just like hard to even think about anymore.
Shiny and new, you were like, wow, it's so expansive, it's so big, there's so much stuff.
When it was
you wanted to dick around, not necessarily go like, oh, how do I get most powerful?
Back when it was just like novel to just be in this world. It's interesting how it changes.
It's amazing what playing a game for 10 years will do to you.
I'm also curious how that goes for you, though, Keith, as someone who spends so much time in video game worlds now. Is it even exciting?
I seek out games that are interesting. Like I make a point to. Like a really good way to avoid monotony is to not play AAA games all day, because they are so like they feel like the definition of like oh wow, the slime I'm fighting transformed into my rabbit and started fighting my rabbit as my rabbit. Like so much of AAA gaming is just this sludge of making the same thing over and over again, and everything feels like it was focus grouped and stuff.
Yeah.
And everything has radio towers to climb to reveal the map, and loot boxes, and some sort of weak pseudo RPG progression system that makes you feel like you're always making progress, and love numbers that go up that don't mean anything, and a glut of excessive side questing, weird things. Right now, I'm
just-
playing a game called Legendary Gary, where you play as this guy who is he's getting to be about 30 years old, and he can't figure out how to pull his life together, and his religious zealot mother just spent all his money, all their household's money, on a religious charity because he thinks that the world's going to end, and he's playing this video game where all of the people in his life are basically characters in that video game, but like analogous characters, like his mom and his girlfriend are like members of his party, and he's doing adventures that are analogous to what his real life thing is, and he's getting advice from one that affects the other, and vice versa. So the real life thing is like a choose your own adventure, do dialogue, figure out how to like manage your money, and like work your shitty retail job you've gone back to because your mom threw all the money away because she thinks that the world's ending, and because the podcast like man told her so, and managing an actual resource called motivation that allows you to figure out how to adult and shit like that, while also going into like a tactical RPG and going back and forth.
Interesting.
There's cool shit out there, but not from the people that make Assassin's Creed.
Speaking of cool shit, if you haven't tried Slay the Spire, excellent deck building roguelike card game available in early access on Steam.
That game's very interesting. Although
It's super good.
Although us knowing about that game actually started on this channel because it was a Let's Try I did.
Which is terrific. No, I'm actually super stoked to have received that game, and I'm starting to see it everywhere.
Yeah.
I'm seeing like the big name Hearthstone players playing Slay the Spire.
And I was in day one because I played it like a month before it came out and no one knew about it.
I'm so happy for those devs. They just put
it's
in a
neat.
new they put in a new game mode which adds a daily kind of brawl like thing. I don't know if you're familiar with brawls and like WoW and Hearthstone.
Nope.
The concept is to spice up the gameplay, or to spice up PvP or whatever mechanism it is, by adding a game mode that mixes up the rules. So like WoW has brawls for their there's a date. Is it weekly or daily?
So they're like mutators.
Yeah. So WoW has like versions where it twists the rules or it changes players. They have a version of Arathi Basin where it adds snowfall and sight limit distances.
No.
I think I'm gonna do Moonbrook to fly back to Sentinel Hill at this point.
Yep, that was the plan.
So Slay the Spire has added that as well. So there's a daily different version that mixes up a bunch of potential game changers. But one of the things I think is interesting about it is that they have given everyone the same fixed random seed for the Spire on that day. So everyone that plays it gets the same Spire experience, and there's leaderboards.
Yeah, it's like what Binding of Isaac and a bunch of other roguelikes do, is they have the daily run, and Spelunky did that too.
Hello.
Like a fairly common roguelike mechanic is to have the daily version of the run, and everyone does it at the same time.
See you later. Hey there.
So that's really cool.
Mentioning Arathi just makes me think like, oh yeah, we should probably implement PvP into this playthrough at some point.
Probably.
That's one of the things that's always been missing from the hundreds of WoW episodes, is that Wander hates PvP in all of its forms in every game, so we haven't engaged even a little bit in any form of it.
I mean, I'm happy to do a random battleground or two at the, like, when we're done with the zone.
Yeah. I'm likely exceptionally bad at it at this point, but I always thought those were cool mechanics at least.
Brotherhood.
Greetings.
Bear witness.
Oh, is that the person? That's her. Yay.
We bear witness a lot, don't we?
We do.
Oh, she's the silhouette. It was Hope the whole time?
Mhm.
Oh no! What irony!
But she's Vanessa Van Cleef.
Oh no! This is where we realize her name's like an anagram or something absurd like that. There is no hope, only Vanessa.
And there's Rip Snarl.
I will now transform into my skimpy evil costume. Wait, he could just transform out of it the whole time? He didn't think to do that sooner?
No, they released him.
It just looked like he transformed into a human, though, and that's how he escaped his bonds. Like, oh yeah, I don't fit. So all the Forelbrows had to die just because somebody recognized her? Even though here she is throwing away her identity anyway. Oh shit, she's burning down Sentinel Hill. This is so anime.
I mean, I'm just gonna fly up to the
They're kind of just scattering everywhere, aren't they? All the Defias.
Apparently, burning Sentinel Hill means just burning this one tower.
Yeah. The least flammable thing in the whole of Sentinel Hill. I mean, it's impressive.
Oh, he has an option for I need to ride fast, but I need to go to the pumpkin farm.
All the Defias look like they're running around like they're using the same, like, algorithm that dictates how, like, bugs in a swarm run around or something. We're going back to Stormwind at this point?
No, I'm flying to the pumpkin farm to get the next clue.
Next clue?
Let's see. Yeah, he's not on Captain Sanderson Treasure.
Hey there.
I don't know how you missed it, Keith, but we have a quest.
Have a good
Well, shit.
That's why we were running up the coast, is we were picking up a thing that actually originated from an item we picked up here at the pumpkin farm.
Well.
And then there was another piece of it in the Raging Chasm, and
I guess I'll just tag along. As a phantom quest occurs. Right, I should put my new gear on.
there's a clue sticking out of the empty jug. You're on your way to the jackpot. Locate Captain Sanders' chest and open it for your reward. Right off the coast on that boat? No, an island. Now you're really gonna wish you had a water strider.
I'll make do with my sea turtle.
Well, I found the quest.
Oh god.
I guess I'll just slowly run over there.
I would suggest not actually coming out to the water if you're not doing this.
Yeah, I'm just gonna run towards the next quest marker. Because even if I don't finish it, I might as well just make progress and get experience while you guys are doing the actual thing. I doubt I'll finish it.
Considering part of it was all the way down, halfway down the coast.
Well, that's the next one I'm going to anyway.
You receive a silver bar, a booty bag, and a shirt.
A booty bag?
So when you want to do that next escape room?
You mean the one at Escape Sacramento or the one in...
Yes. All of the escape rooms.
Well,
there are some new ones though, yeah.
I don't know. Depends on how many people we want to do. Because part of the problem with escape rooms for me is the variable group sizes.
Oh yeah, so you can't consistently bring the same people.
Yeah, and then people feel left out.
Like, yay, we got 12 people together. Great. They're never 12 big though, so now from here on out, some of those people can't come.
Anyway, we're done.
You did it.
I'm just chasing you at this point.
You're chasing me?
Yeah.
Ah. I'm under crab attack. I'm oddly fighting an enemy who's also a hunter.
Good work.
I'm really just compounding my mistakes at this point. Oh, there's the crab. I may have convinced myself I could just run in and grab it. I was wrong. Hey, you leveled. Or someone leveled. Leveling occurred. Oh, I guess it had to be you. No one else is here.
I'm here.
Hello.
Leap up a cliff, though.
How do you do? Oh, wow, an actual drop. Wait, does it say that's worth 7 gold? Oh, that's my roll, isn't it?
Yeah.
It says
7 greed. It's the greed.
7 greed. I was like, how is a Westfall item worth 7 gold?
Inflation, man.
Inflation.
I mean, I've earned 7 gold this session.
Yeah. You can see that night elf jump spamming because they're trying to get the spin to happen.
Where to next, boss?
Gotta go to the coast now.
Gotta go to the jar.
The night elves are like Skinner's box in Microcosm. Just because you have a jump you can do over and over again, and one of the random times it'll do a flip sometimes. And so as a result, you'll see everyone in Alliance just run everywhere, but you'll see all the night elves jump constantly. Because they're trying to trigger that random chance of doing a flip, which has no effect on anything, but they do a flip. And you never know which jump will do it. So you just keep pecking that button, because sometimes it'll give the pigeon food.
Don't blood elves also do a
Yeah, they do a
funny jump?
twirl. I don't think any other people have jumping things unless they added one. There be wolves about.
I think they're actually coyotes.
Shh. Stop pointing out. Oh wow, I got lifted into the air. Oh, I got lifted into the air. The cyclone has reach. Stop pointing out these meaningful distinctions that are actually applicable because we actually get coyotes around here and not wolves. And your completely reasonable observations.
They probably have the same model, too.
Oh, definitely. Dogs, wolves, and coyotes, especially vanilla areas, are just the same model. Which is the same as the spirit dog. Or spirit wolf.
Yeah, you get swimming, man. It's gonna take you some time.
Have you seen the coyotes we get around here?
I have.
If not, I did see a coyote chasing some dude on a bike in the mountains one time. Though.
It was a surprise for, didn't really see them around until, I just started going through the back roads, and I would just see them here and there, just on the side of the road. Take me with you. Damn water strider, man. How dare you.
Hey, I stopped and killed the thing that was aggroed
I
on
really
you.
should have set my Hearthstone to being in Westfall. So I wouldn't have to go back.
We can all take a moment to enjoy that WoW has these neat water trail effects, though.
The ripples, yeah. I think those are new. You used to just have like a V, right? Of white.
A V of white. There have been some really substantial graphics engine improvements in this game.
Look up an image of vanilla Alwyn Forest, and you all that nice grass is gone. It's just a lumpy green hill, as far as you can see.
those sound effects.
What the fuck? What are you doing? Wow,
You need to start swimming, friend.
you just make like Tom and Jerry sounds.
Out of a turtle, no less.
Yeah.
Because apparently turtles just make Tom and Jerry sounds.
What in the world? Well, we beat the quest, you guys. Hooray. Soon I will catch you as being a level 29. Once like one kill happens.
Oh, I can make that happen.
Yeah. My meter does appear to be full. Oh yeah, 99%. I'm right there. We're still rested. The 2 weeks between sessions will do that.
In and in.
Ka-choom.
Is that enough?
Yep. Leveled.
While swimming very slowly.
Did they change how rested works? Didn't it used to be like a level or something? Was the cap?
No.
How much? What was your maximum rest percentage? Was it 200%?
Yeah, I think it's 2 levels.
Yeah, because we've gained like 5, right?
Well, but quests
Oh,
don't
right.
count towards that.
Right. It's just kill experience.
Great.
Aha. Well, we beat Westfall. That was fast.
That was pretty quick.
A similar amount of content to Wetlands, except way smaller.
We're still, what, just shy of 2 hours in? Got
Yep.
plenty of time to do maybe a dungeon and a PvP.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, look, the
Oh
thumbs
man,
are back.
I haven't PvP'd for a while. That'll be interesting. Also, never PvP'd as someone who doesn't turn invisible. I imagine that feels different.
Let's go do that Stormwind thing though.
I used to be like, oh, a fight. Well, I don't want to be in that fight. Bye. And I just press my don't go in the fight button. Unless there
You
was a
thought
hunter.
you were gonna fight me, but no.
But secretly, now it's an empty road. Ha-ha. Stealth really is one of those abilities that just changes the entire game and how you view elements of how it work. Something you probably find interesting about it when you get to it is when it comes out on PC is Monster Hunter World actually has like it has a bunch of different weapons, but it's not like Dark Souls or other games where it's like that weapon has that moveset. That's what's different. It's like each weapon is like the moment you switch to a different weapon, it's like you're suddenly a different class with entirely new mechanics based entirely around the weapon you picked up. It's a bizarrely involved game.
I still haven't decided if I'm gonna play it. I've got plenty of other things to burn my time on.
But it's fun.
Going back to earlier, where asking if things do anything new or exciting, what does Monster Hunter World, other than what you just described, do that is new and exciting?
Well, the main game is a series of boss fights where you go around like an open world and there's roaming monsters that will fight you as a boss, basically as a big hulking thing. As you weaken it, it'll occasionally flee to different parts of the map and you have to track it down again. But interestingly, the monsters can actually encounter each other and engage in turf wars where they'll deal massive damage to each other and do a full fight where you're best off just taking a back seat as giant hulking beasts fight each other, like that T-Rex and King Kong scene from the Peter Jackson King Kong movie. Then the game has like 20 different weapons where every weapon has completely different mechanics altogether. Like I picked up the insect glaive and you actually choose individual insects that are called that are these weird beetles that attach to your forearm that you can launch as a projectile that come back to you after making contact with the enemy to give you a series of different buffs, and maintaining those is half the fight. But you're also the only weapon that has like aerial attacks where you're like pogo sticking through the fight like you're freaking Shovel Knight. And so and then you try any other weapon and you realize, oh, half the shit I was doing isn't even a mechanic for other characters. It's not just like you don't realize how unique all the stuff was till you pick up a different character and you're suddenly just on a completely different ocean of things.
Curious.
Like, you'll see entire interface elements or inventories that you're like, I don't understand what that is, and then you pick a completely different weapon and suddenly you're using it. Like, I haven't even learned how ammo works in the game, because none of the weapons I've used have had ammo in them yet. And similarly, you'd be like upgrading your gear, and you'd be like, what's that Kinsect menu mean? And you realize the Insect Glaive is a special two-handed weapon with aerial combos and an insect, like, pet that you level up individually. Even when I tried something really simple, I was like, I'll try the dual blades. It's just 2 swords. How complex could that be? Then I find out that I have a demon meter that charges up, and when I enter demon mode, my stamina continually drains, but I have entirely new combos and massive increases of mobility and damage. And when I fill up my demon meter, or when I'm in demon mode, when I attack, it fills up archdemon mode, which is a symbol of my swords that fills up with red, and that if I successfully fill it up, then when I'm in my cooldown of recovering from demon mode, then I'll be in archdemon mode where my weapons are glowing red and they maintain residual damage boosts while I'm not in my actual mode that's supposed to make me more powerful. And so there's a back and forth between these two modes where if you're keeping them in harmony, you will never have to go back to your default state of actually being a crappy normal dude that has normal combos. And like every weapon is its own weird world of stuff to learn, besides just what the attack buttons do. And I'm not used to that even being a thing. That's crazy. That's not how action RPGs work.
Here's the thing. With the time spent learning how all that works and what I can do, why wouldn't I instead go explore the world of jankiness in Kingdom Come Deliverance? Or return to Slay the Spire?
Well, you can do that while you're playing through the campaign itself, and you can change weapons on the fly. Like, you don't have to start a new character for each weapon. So, like, over the course of playing through the game and encountering new monsters and locations, I'll also be changing weapon types and diving into that.
Be careful.
And it's not some, like, nightmarish new thing, like learning Factorio from scratch or something. It's like I went from 0 to, oh, I'm doing dual wielding now in, like, 20 minutes.
I would love to learn Factorio from scratch again, by the way.
I'm sure you would.
Just need a new game mode.
With
So I haven't launched a rocket in the C block.
Now that
This
you're like
is true.
500 hours in, you're like, how will I ever go back?
700 something hours in?
Oh, Jesus.
I think I'm barely up to 200.
Kingdom Come continually finds new ways to screw me, by the way. Like, that save mod is mandatory, because the game is too broken too consistently. Like, I told you about the archer problem, where, like, the archery competitor just refused to compete and stood perfectly still, making the game impossible.
Yeah.
And then you have characters that forget what team they're on and just fight each other, which is fascinating. But I had a thing where I got ambushed by some dudes, and they were attacking some women, and I took 2 steps back, and the game spontaneously teleported forward 6 hours, and to it suddenly being daylight, and all the women were dead in a circle because I abandoned them to die. And I'm like, I took 2 steps back while in combat stance because evasive maneuvers are how combat works. And it's like, you fuck. The game makes me mad.
I have yet to go back to it at all this weekend. Factorio basically consumed all of my time.
Oh yeah, there was a guy on the side of the road, and he was like, please help me. My feet are bleeding because I was forced to flee my home and I didn't even get shoes. And he's like, you can give him food or bandages, or you can straight up give him shoes if you're awesome. And I declined out of the dialogue because I had shoes to give him, but they were in the saddlebag of my horse, and you couldn't give them to him from the saddlebag of your horse. I was like, oh, so I'm like, okay, I'll decline out of the dialogue and I'll come right back to give him the shoes once they're in my inventory. You can't talk to him anymore. He stops being an NPC instantly.
What?
Yeah, he just becomes a character model that's just sitting there, and you can't talk to him anymore. So you can't give him, once you know about him and the shoe situation, you can't go get shoes and bring them to him. It's impossible. The game doesn't give you that kind of option. He gets functionally deleted from the game the moment you don't do his quest, basically. Which is like, that type of jank is the thing people normally fix by, you know, saving and loading. But the game wants you to only have one save per, like, in-game day, essentially. Because realism? Because the idea of not being able to give the guy shoes is realistic somehow? Because he ceases to be a human the moment you don't give them to him?
I understand what they're trying to achieve by having the save be tied to an item or tied to game events or tied to sleeping. It provides interesting decision making sometimes because you can't easily save scum, right?
But none of it works in practice.
That's true. But let's focus on what their intent was.
Well,
not on the fact that the game is so broken that you really need it.
Not even that, though. The save system doesn't make sense. Like, if you sleep in your bed, then it saves. If you sleep in a different bed that doesn't technically belong to you, it doesn't save.
The problem for me is, as someone who doesn't have all the time in the world to play games anymore, when it's time to be done, it's time to be done.
Yeah.
Save schnapps or not. So I need to be able to say, okay, I'm done. I'm closing out. I'm going to go do something else. I'm going to go spend time with my wife. No, this game does not want you to do that. But
no.
Fortunately, the mod works pretty well.
Yeah, it works perfectly. Dude, when you go to that, you know that, did you make it past the title card?
Yeah.
You're in that town, you're like a refugee and you're in that house.
Yep.
In that house, there's 3 beds. If you sleep in the wrong bed, it doesn't save.
Oh, God.
Only one of those beds is your bed. The other, so I slept in the old man's bed twice without noticing it, and the game didn't save. I'm like, you fuck,
Oops.
how dare you? Like, even ignoring how buggy the game is, the save system like doesn't actually make much sense. It's weird. And also, when you're playing the main story missions, oftentimes it'll save right before you make important decisions, so you actually can save scum really easily. Like, I ran into a situation where I didn't quite make it to a building in time, and it just went without me, and so it counted as me not helping a guy. But I just loaded my save, which was 2 seconds ago, because the game saved at that point in the story. So you could just then fix the thing. It's weird. It crumbles so much in practice, and it's really hard to explain what it's even trying to accomplish at some point.
Man, I should have queued us much earlier. Average wait time is 9 minutes.
Didn't it just let us in? There was like a pop-up and I said yes.
No, that was me looking to see if it would let us queue for the random battleground also.
Oh. I was confused because I just hit accept and then it didn't load me anywhere, and I'm like, did I misclick?
Could also see if the random dungeon thing goes faster. Nick, you want a tank?
Sure.
Get me queued. Well, what do you mean that's faster? How could that be?
Well, I have no buttons on my bars here.
Perfect.
What
Oh
do I have
boy.
for talent?
What could go wrong, right? We'll be fine.
I don't have any of my healer buttons on the bars, so you know. Good luck.
Oh, shit, man.
Well, I have all of my buttons, which is to shoot things. Hey, we're in
Okay.
Nagaland.
Just so you know, I have unspent talent points.
Help! We barely escaped the
I
twilight
cannot
depths
fathom the
Ishmael.
depths of this place. Alright, well, Sid Terrell's gonna guide us through here as our raid leader, so just listen to what he says. Who's the tank?
I am.
How do you have unspent talent points? Do you hit 30?
Find them, you imbeciles! Lord Bathiel will not be denied his sacrifices!
Oh, right, I have to disable aggro, right? There we go. I found it. I did it, you guys. I turned off aggro.
Good work.
I'm not gonna get murdered at random as the tank loses aggro. Uh-oh. Whoa. So you're a hunter. If you pull aggro on accident and panic and feign death, does that usually reset back to the tank, or does it make nightmares happen? Marty?
It usually works. It's fine. It's fine.
Gross. What? Why is this happening? That's horrible.
Sorry, I'm trying to figure out my buttons while answering your question.
Nobody saw that.
Did you fall in?
Of course
There, I
not.
didn't.
Oh, there it goes. That really makes me realize how
I just want to. I want to stay with the tank. That's all.
well, now there's a zip line you guys can use to get up here. You can't platform.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, you put up a zip line that's at the beginning for people that can't do the platforming. I'm really amused that they added
that's
that to the
cool.
game. That really that highlighted for me how laggy this game is, or how much latency there is to the stuff you see on the screen. Is that I heard you say you fell before I saw you fall.
Oh, hey, I have Thunderclap.
Yeah. The things we learn about ourselves. Is it time to set up another Twilight Imperium game?
Where's that come from?
That?
Where'd that come from?
It's been a while, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's been. We didn't do one in February.
I get requests.
Really?
Has it been that long?
Yeah, we didn't do one in February at all.
Oh wow.
It was a short month.
Yeah, there's people that'll periodically be like, when's the next Twilight Imperium game?
That's fascinating.
Inevitably, because of those thousands of views, there'll be some people that are specifically here for that. God rest their souls and the hundreds of videos they get as a result.
Anyway, that didn't work as well as I'd hoped.
What was
No
going
idea
on?
what those buttons do.
Oh, were you just pressing buttons?
What buttons you got?
Oh, the tank's down. Right. It's hard to notice because he has so little distance to fall.
I'd appreciate it if someone would attack this turtle.
But it was neutral for me and I was safe.
I didn't attack it.
So, what buttons you got?
The problem is I hit my freaking... I hit my detox button when I meant to hit something else. That's why you died.
Ah.
Oh.
Oh, why do I have damage done on both menus? I was like, the paladin's out healing you. What the? Like, you didn't even cast a heal on me. What the shit, man? No wonder why. Oh.
Oh, do you have a separate thing open for DPS and for healing?
Yeah.
Please, you must save the others before Dominus sacrifices them.
Take that, turtle. I guess. This is where I encountered that bot, where somebody was running around and they had an AI character clearly just trying to follow them around, and they couldn't get the guy to go over that maze you have to climb over at the beginning. They couldn't get the secondary character to platform through. They're clearly like just running into walls and getting stuck. The geometry here was too complicated. I remember looking into that stuff back in the day, or just like some of the weirder options, like when you could set up a second WoW account and like have
multi-box.
Yeah, like you could essentially like be telling the other character what attacks to do, and they'd be following you around and being a party basically.
I'd enjoy that. It's just a little too expensive.
Yeah. But the added complexity might actually be a bit welcome because the game doesn't have a lot going on. Weirdly, there's a game I played that was like one of those first-person dungeon crawlers. It was called The Fall of the Dungeon Guardians. And you were functionally playing as like a full WoW party as one player.
I remember watching you stream this.
Oh yeah, that one. Yeah, you saw. Yeah, like you straight up had like a tank that had like aggro meters and threat pulling abilities, while another character had like the usual heal cycles of like the slow and efficient one and the fast and dirty one, and the heal over time, and a rogue and a mage and stuff like that, all in one group. The combat was interesting. It just had a lot of other issues. Hey, you were there for the final. You were there for the final stream, weren't you?
I was.
When I was finishing the game, which means you might have been there at the same time as when the developer was there in the comments.
Yep.
Which was that was just a strange day for me. Nothing to make you self-conscious like the people who made the game to be watching you in real time over your shoulder while you're playing it.
It was interesting to watch, but it definitely felt unfinished.
Yeah, it was a weird. It was almost like a proof by concept at times. Proof
Especially
of concept.
when you were encountering bugs and they were patching them, following that.
Yeah. That's happened in a few different games now, that patches will clearly be based on my videos. Wander gets that a lot too.
Oh man, I just got guild spam.
Guild spam?
Hi, the Scarlet Fleet is recruiting new and old players. We do a little bit of everything. You want
Guild
PvP?
spam.
We do that. You want PvE? We do that too. We are a casual guild working on becoming a PvE PvP progression guild. Whisper me for an invite.
I remember being a guild recruiter. That was dumb. You are just inflicting yourself on people, basically. That's all you really accomplish.
I whispered them back, unsubscribe.
Unsubscribed.
And then they whispered me back. El Mayo wanna join.
He doesn't seem to understand the idea.
I'd rather die in a fire.
Are you actually saying that?
Yeah, I said that.
That's a bit extreme.
We have fire.
I mean, we do regularly die in fire. It's a bit less alarming in universe. I wonder who they'll talk to next. Admittedly, I haven't even been looking at the chat, so I don't know if I get messages.
Wow,
That's a sight.
Well, it's great.
And you go slap. Do you think Akumai is friendly? I think he's friendly.
Yeah.
Oh, it's gonna hurt.
A lot of enemies coming in.
I can't heal through that.
Uh-oh. Oh, we made it. That was danger.
I don't really have an oh shit button.
You don't?
No.
Ah, shit.
Apparently you do, though.
I've got too many cables.
Cables?
Yeah. Like, I'll move for a moment and, like, something will just get caught and fall over. Most of my stuff's usually wired, but especially, like, I have, like, controllers set up for PC and stuff.
This instance is different than I remember.
Oh, yeah. 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 Now it's, like, Lovecraftian? I can't wait for this dungeon to end in an elder sign or something.
He sounds friendly.
Yeah, he's probably good company. It's just a circle of tentacles encompassing us. I was gonna say they're not really in range to do anything, but they're actually shooting like weird, like projectiles somehow, like water slapping us. Oh geez, hello enemies. Oh, it's over.
Make sure to click on the altar.
Is that a loot murloc?
I don't know.
One of them had a bag.
Murloc slop pile.
Yeah. Oh yeah, weird. What does clicking on the altars do?
Gives you a stat bonus.
Ah.
It used to give you like a required buff.
I think it used to be, yeah, like there's often things you had to interact with in order to finish dungeons. It led to some real heartbreaking, party dissolving moments sometimes of like not being able to tell where to go next. I think I remember spending like an hour running around in Dire Mall not being able to tell what I was supposed to do or how to proceed. And just the whole group running around in circles until finally people started leaving the party.
This is really amusing.
That's pretty great. That's pretty fantastic. I guess they chose poorly in which cult to join, as they just get randomly murdered by their own team.
Standing in bad stuff. Killing mages since always.
Oh, did they just stand in a death thing? Is that what it was? Was it the lightning that was drawing us in? Is that what they fell into?
Yeah, they just stood in the middle of it.
Oh, they just let it happen? Oh. Well, I'll have you know I was running out of it.
Thank you.
Like a person
That's why
would
you
do.
lived.
Yeah. Funny that. Ah. Startling sword buff.
We don't have the mage yet.
I'm waiting.
We've got to be only a moment away from him saying Thrux Smash. We're the high levels of this group.
But the levels don't really matter.
Yeah. I was just checking through the list to see if there was like a surprise, like level 50 or something, since it's all scaling and stuff. But we're ahead of the curve.
The mage is really good at standing and stuff. I'm surprised they lived.
I mean, they don't always, apparently. Oh hey, a second ring. I still didn't have both of the slots filled. That may have been my fault. I may have been making the mistake of just reading the comparison and just replacing my existing slot by right-clicking and not necessarily checking the other slot. Well, that seems dangerous. I'm sure Reggie can take it.
Once again, I can't heal them through standing in it. I'm not in combat yet, Nick. Don't die.
Oh, it's a big range of bad. Oh. Uh-oh. Oh, cool. I was able to jump over the ledge. I'm back in. So do you think that this here mage is one of those learn from mistakes kind of person?
I don't know.
Look, I ran out of a damage zone.
Thank you.
Oh, there's a bonus boss down here.
Do we want to do it?
Sure.
One
My
underwater?
self-preservation instinct was a little too strong with the first AoE damage zone because I jumped clean off the cliff into the water. I had to find a way back onto the platform.
What are guardian egg? Underwater breathing? Fast swimming?
aspect of the Guardian. You get to go fast swim.
Swim speed, yeah.
Got Sonic the Hedgehog bubbles. I'm summoning spiders underwater. They're just winging it. That works. Yeah, sure. I've got evil eyeballs over my head? What?
Yeah, I think you're getting focused by something.
They're blinking. It's creepy. When did they get so animated?
I think I'd like to revise my statement about not being able to keep the mage alive. I think I could have done it if I wasn't already also trying to run out of the bad shit.
Yeah. Ah, that sounds terrible. There's some sort of way that audio is interacting here with a filter that's making it sound like distorted and clippy. I want to go back above water. The Guardian hatchlings have chosen you as their first meal. Is what the eyeball thing is. Somehow, like, sinister eyes with eyebrows that blink doesn't really associate with me in my brain with, like, feeding time. Like, you're about to be the victim of a feeding frenzy. Here's some stoic eyeballs. They look like they're from a superhero comic.
I think that's just the generic "Hey, you're focused" icon that they present.
Yeah. Those have been there since vanilla.
Have they?
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen them before.
Then you've never tanked.
That is true. I have never tanked. I have avoided responsible positions at like a plague and always been just DPS. Until the WoW series where I was the priest. His healing kept faltering, so I was like, I'll be the healer, damn it. I'll figure this shit out. And it was easy. Healing is actually one of the more interesting and fun things you can do, actually. Oh, shit. Uh-oh.
Bad stuff on me.
That's not good. That's not good.
That would be the boss.
Nope.
The boss isn't aggroed yet, is it?
Nope.
That'd be bad. No. That was me. I tabbed. Which was a mistake.
Hey, look, the mage lived. They got out of it.
Yay. They're learning from mistakes. Look at them go.
I'm thrilled.
Yeah, I found that healing is actually healing for a group was actually one of the more interesting things you can do in WoW nowadays.
Healing is a lot of fun.
A lot of focus.
It's challenging for me because it's not something I ever have done in a serious raid setting. One
of the traps is trying to get yourself in a thing where you can focus on the heal. You can focus on the healing, but not be so into it that you're literally not even noticing the video game anymore, and then the video game kills you.
Yep.
It's very easy to just stare at the meters and then realize that, like, the world is fire. Are we supposed to kill those before they get back to him? Is it one of those?
Yeah, probably. They say revitalizing on them.
That's a relatively familiar boss mechanic, isn't it?
Yeah.
I feel like I encountered that in the Naga dungeon in Burning Crusade. Yeah, I think that was actually a mechanic. The party had to spread out and deal with all the things that were... I think they were even water elementals, yeah. Oh shit, I'm remembering Serpentville, or whatever it's called.
Serpent Lord Bill.
It's been so long since I raided that I saw a list of raids and was surprised to find there was a whole other one I didn't remember. I remember Magtheridon, but I don't remember that there's another lair.
Oh, Gruul?
Yeah, for me it was like Karazhan, Magtheridon, then Serpent, then Time Travel, then Illidan. And it's like, oh, Gruul. I don't even
Gruul
remember
was
him.
easier than Magtheridon's lair.
Maybe that's why I don't remember him, because he's so easy.
It wasn't so easy, but it was definitely harder to get a group to clear Magtheridon than Gruul.
Because Magtheridon was the bastard that had like a freaking summoning circle where you had to do things
Yeah.
in a circle around him with all the like activate the right things in the right way or something.
Yep.
Whereas I can't even tell you what the mechanics of Gruul were.
Gruul, in fact, had a boss before him, right? Where you would have mage tanks for... it was like a council fight.
No.
And then the Gruul fight had this, like... this mechanic where... like the group would get slowed to like you had to have everyone topped off and everyone needed to be in the right positions because he would slow everyone to a paralysis halt and then like collapse the ceiling. It was a really interesting encounter. I liked the focused raid environment where it's just like here's a boss or two, they're the entire thing.
It is interesting that they just experimented with it for that bit and never really do it again much. I guess
there were a couple
they
in
did
Wrath.
Yeah, they did it at the end of Wrath. And
I guess they kind of flirted with it from the beginning because of Onyxia.
yeah,
So I guess it wasn't really a new thing then. Even their micro dungeons.
it seems like people now have a demand of big long raid dungeons, and we're expecting to have that experience. But it definitely seemed to be previous. If there was only one boss to that encounter, to that lore, then that's all there was.
Yeah. But now they're like, goal in. I think that part of it is that there's such a rabid, massive fan base for WoW that like I think it became a thing where like you have to make the updates count or it's like your audience revolts. So if the update's a new dungeon that has like a boss in it, then it's like that's not what we wanted. That's not enough.
They just have to make the updates not be Twitter integration and only Twitter integration.
Talk about a patch that made a lot of people angry.
Level 30.
The chest
fun.
disappear?
It did.
What brings you here?
Rip.
Did they turn this dungeon into like a prequel for Serpent or not? Got me some new armor. We've
I'm
got
just
new
gonna throw it
gear.
out there. The spec sucks without haste. Ooh, thank you.
Well, your tank spec is having problems.
There's just like nothing to do. I'm spamming an ability that all it does is damage. It doesn't generate resources. It doesn't provide any buffs. It's just there.
They do set up some interesting trees here. Like I've got one where I can replace my Dire Beast with a completely different ability where instead of making Dire Beast it makes my pet Hulk out. Or I can do one where the Dire Beasts have like an AoE stomp when they get summoned.
Or we're gonna try and do.
They make them applicable.
Yeah, let's see how long now that we're 40, I don't know that we want to be on the bottom end of the battleground.
30. But that
Oh,
dude's
30.
still in here.
Oh, sorry.
Does that work that way?
Let's leave instance group. I don't know if we can. I don't think we can queue them into our battleground, but might as well leave.
Does leveling still matter now that there's the whole scaling thing in
There's
PvP?
definitely a bit of advantage to being on the upper end.
Kind of makes me think of Destiny, where supposedly what level you were didn't matter in PvP, but boy was PvP impossible on my new character and super super effective on my like max level character, when leveling was supposed to not affect any of it.
Let's see, what's the timer on this? It says 5 minutes. Do you want to wait it out? We're already at 2.5 hours.
I can go either way. We are going longer than normal.
Let's do PvP next time.
Yeah, sure. Do you have any recommendation of Stomp versus Dire Frenzy?
So they're both good.
I'm looking at both of them. I'm like, these are numbers.
As far as leveling, I think I'd probably just take Stomp. So you
Just
just
explosion.
spam that button. Yeah, you spam it whenever it's up, and it does some AoE damage.
So
Whereas
it becomes
Dire
a thing
Frenzy
where
has
on top of being a summon, it's also an attack now.
Yeah. Are we?
Is there an... I declined.
Yeah.
You were saying doing next time. Is
Next
there
time.
even an inn around here?
Is this
Yeah,
one?
this is an end.
Oh, is it an inn, even though the whole
tower
place
is
is
an
on
inn.
fire?
Now that
Yeah.
got burned down.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, there's an innkeeper.
Hey there.
Well, alrighty then. We
Well, this
did
was
it,
a
you
fun
guys.
session.
We're level 30.
And we did a dungeon.
And we talked about things.
We talked about some movies. We talked about several other games. We talked about WoW.
And it's really about the friends we made along the way.
The ones that stabbed us in the back and turned out to be a psychopathic bitch.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
they're like, I'm evil now. I must wear my skimpy clothes. Because
I
that's
will
how
say
evil
that
women are in things.
I didn't know that piece of history about Vanessa Van Cleef. I just thought she was a baddie.
The
So
part
that-
where like basically a vanilla WoW raiding party comes in, kills Van Cleef, and then she comes out and cries.
Yeah. And then, burns Sentinel Hill, frees Rip Snarl, and good times.
Now that we're going through zones that I went through when I was significantly younger, it is really crazy to see how like story has progressed in these locations. And like they like when I guess when Cataclysm happened, like they pushed time forward and all these locations made story progress, which is bizarre to think about for an MMO.
Yeah.
Like like our location was this way for 5, 6, 7 years or whatever, then became a completely different location after that point, and like you either were there that in the previous one or not. It's almost like WoW had a sequel where you go back to the same locations, but like normally when all the story in all the locations of a game changes, it's because they made a new game.
Right. But the Cataclysm was like a world-changing event that had to mark time progress.
Now there's just like a weird forever gone game, basically. You're either there
No.
or... Well, yeah,
it's not forever gone because it's coming
now
back.
they're bringing it back.